Hi, welcome to Take 5, where we daily consider devotional thoughts from Oswald Chambers' book, My Utmost for His Highest. Today is October 2nd, and the title of today's devotional is The Place of Humiliation. If you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. Mark 9, verse 22. Today's lesson involves what we know as the Transfiguration, where three of the disciples went with Christ to the top of a mountain, and there Moses and Elijah came and spoke to Jesus. Reflecting on the lives of Moses and Elijah, each two experienced mountaintop times with God. Moses went up on top of Mount Sinai to receive from God the clay tablets on which were written the Ten Commandments. What a glorious experience that must have been, yet it was followed by his returning to the valley to find the Hebrews in idol worship. For Elijah, when on Mount Carmel, he called down fire from heaven to destroy the wicked works of King Ahab. That was followed in the valley by Queen Jezebel proclaiming Elijah would die for his actions. Dr. Chambers begins, after every time of exaltation, we are brought down with a sudden rush into things as they really are, where it is neither beautiful, poetic, nor thrilling. The height of the mountaintop is measured by the dismal drudgery of the valley, but it is in the valley that we have to live for the glory of God. Pause to consider what all he shared. Life is actually found in the valley, or rather, actual life is found in the valley. Following a glorious mountaintop experience, we each must return to the valley of everyday life. O.C.'s observation impressed me that a mountain is only as high as it is low. The higher it is, the lower it goes. That's what makes them mountains. Next is what I consider the primary takeaway of today. We see his glory on the mountain, but we never live for his glory there. It is in the place of humiliation that we find our true worth to God. That is where our faithfulness is revealed. Your genuine faith in God will be found in the valley of trials, pain, sorrow. That's where it's revealed how much you really believe and trust in him. Chambers observes most of us can do things that if we are always at some heroic level of intensity, simply because of the natural selfishness of our own hearts. But God wants us to be at the drab, everyday level, where we live in the valley according to our personal relationship with him. It's easy to be a Christian at church or a concert when surrounded by other believers, but once isolated from them at work or play or even at home is where faith is tested. Chambers continues, Peter thought it would be a wonderful thing for them to remain on the mountain, but Jesus Christ took the disciples down from the mountain and into the valley where the true meaning of the vision was explained. What Christ and the three found upon returning to the valley were the other disciples being unable to free a boy from demons, and the watching crowd increasing in anger. In verse 22, the father of the demon-possessed son begs, if you can do anything, to which Chambers responds, it takes the valley of humiliation to remove the skepticism from us. And there we have another gem from Dr. Chambers. It's easy to believe in God when everything is great, but what about when everything seems bad? Earlier this year, God told me the real test is to believe that God knows what he is doing all the time. O.C. says when you were on the mountaintop, you could believe anything, but what about when you were faced with the facts of the valley? You may be able to give a testimony regarding your sanctification, but what about the things that is a humiliation to you right now? The last time you were on the mountain with God, you saw that all the power in heaven and earth belonged to God. But will you be skeptical now simply because you are in the valley of humiliation? O.C. is asking, do you believe in God as much when things are going bad as you did when everything was going great? Are you challenged in telling others about God's presence within you right now as you daily live in the valley? Do you believe in his faithfulness? that He knows what He is doing. You can only truthfully share with others what you honestly believe. God doesn't remove us from the valley. He takes us through it. Thanks for being here today. Now may God's grace and peace be ours as we seek to live our utmost for His highest. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.